Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So I am kind of pre-recording this episode in a sense, like it is the day that you guys saw the episode. As of this recording, there is no comments, so I will just get right away into business and get to our free agent signings, because basically in last episode we had another really good draft, of course, because we've been drafting so many good low elite prospects in the series, so it just kept on adding to our prospect pool pretty much. Resign stage wise, we brought pretty much everybody back. The main let go that we had in this offseason though was Frank Nazar, which I think was an okay loss for this team, considering we have pretty much everybody else on our roster locked up in next season and the seasons afterwards. The only guys that are like pending UFA really that matter are like McDavid, obviously, who is pretty close to retirement. Pakish Slotty, he also might be a guy that ends up having to leave this team just because of cap reasons, but this team is looking really good, and I'm very excited, of course, for this upcoming season. Of course, obviously, with Lane Weeks jumping to the NHL this year as well, it's going to be interesting to see what this kid is all about. Obviously, he's not really developed into what I was expecting him to be, but him being a power forward, having a solid wrist shot and power and all that type of thing, I think he can produce decently. It's just all about playing with the right guys. So we might even just jump him right to the second line to exactly where Nazar was. We'll see exactly what we do with him when it comes to chemistry and all that type of thing. But I would really like to just get this guy in a good spot that he hopefully develops into that low elite potential, because or else he's kind of looking like a little bit of a bust at this point, considering he was a second round pick. So hopefully we can get him at least to being like an 82, 83 if he does end up being a solid player in the NHL. But he's had some okay AHL seasons, so hopefully he has a good rookie season ahead of him. But anyways, we got some free agent signings to make. We only got to pick up 2 depth forwards and a depth defenseman, if I remember right. Let me actually just make sure on that. That way we could build up our team a little bit more. We have $7 million in cap space, but yeah, like I was mentioning, everybody pretty much on this team is locked up for quite some time, so we might have to make trades in the future if we run into problems. But you can see like Spillers, a pending RFA. These 5 or 4 guys are all UFAs, and McDavid might retire, so it's not really like we're in a bad spot, all things considered. Like I was saying as well, though, if we need to, we could easily flip away some of these contracts, because a lot of these contracts are very movable. Like Ziska's not making too much, Corrado, Bales, so it should be pretty easily to do so. I think the one player I would probably move, and that's just because of his cap hit, is Niittymaki, who we literally just re-signed because he was a pending RFA. He's getting paid $6 million, which is a little bit steep considering he's getting paid more than Ovechkin, Lowry, Morris. Like, he's getting paid almost like a top 2 defenseman when he's more of a top 6 defenseman. So if we have to make any changes in terms of freeing up cap space, I think Niittymaki's the first one that would probably go, because we do got guys in the system that could potentially take over that role in a few years. So anyways, let's make sure that we have what we need for next season. I think, like I was saying, it's just 2 depth forwards and a depth defenseman I need. Don't think I need a goalie, right? Nope, we're good for goalies too. Okay, and we have 2 free agent forwards that I was looking at in last episode that I think I am going to be going after, if I can remember their names. Let me just go to UFAs. I think they were both like 78 overall in like 25 or so around. They were like younger guys that only want like 1.8, if I remember right. I should probably look at last week's recording and check instead, but I'm going to see if I could remember who they were, because we want to bring those guys in. Hey, look, Avery Potter's back in free agency. I didn't even realize that. That's interesting to see Avery Potter back there. Obviously, he spent some time with the New York Rangers for the last 3 years. I don't remember if the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. I think they lost in the finals, which means he lost in the finals, but obviously we don't need defensemen except for a depth defender. Where are those guys I was looking at? I think they're like 78, if I remember right. I might honestly have to look at last recording, which means probably making a cut in this video just to find out who they were. But I think I might remember if I just see their names. I just know that they were like 25 and 26, like they weren't super old. So, who were these dudes again? Yeah, maybe I should have checked before I started recording this episode, but oh well. 78. Okay, we're in the 78 range, so we should be finding those guys soon. Maybe one of them was Biro, I don't remember. Let me actually check last recording. I'm going to have to open up my YouTube while I'm recording here. But yeah, we'll find basically those 2 depth forwards. We'll sign ourselves a depth defenseman, which I don't know who yet. And yeah, then we'll have still some cap space going into next season. If we need to make up some cap room, like I said, we can make changes at the deadline. But this team should be a team that gets to at least the conference finals. Anything below that is kind of a disappointment, I would say. But yeah, if you guys, actually wait a second. I think I'm in the middle of recording this and comments just came in. Wait. Oh wait, there was one comment there in last episode. Sorry about this, Saturn Otaku. But he said Beach had no X factor, so you got the better pick. Also, the medium elite grinder was projected to go 2nd overall. No idea what the AI was thinking with these picks sometimes, but that one the Jets got is going to be a stud. And yeah, it was a little bit of a weird draft class in the last episode as well, because like there was like a high top 6 and a high top 4. I think that also went in the top 5. It was just really weird. Yeah, sorry about that, Saturn Otaku. I didn't remember that you commented, or else I would have mentioned that at the beginning right away. Let's go through my recording and find out who I was looking at potentially signing. Yeah, I think it was Coburn and Wood. Yeah, I think it's Coburn and Wood I was looking at, which are both centers, if I'm not mistaken. Both were relatively cheap, so let me get to those guys. So, Coburn and Wood, because they're pretty young, pretty cheap, and that's the way we need them to be, probably. Wait, they're both 78, but I didn't even see them. I must just be completely blind. Maybe I'm overtired. Oh yeah, there they are. Perfect. So yeah, Ali Coburn, decent sniper, good shot. He could be a solid depth option, relatively cheap as well. We'll just give him exactly what he wants. And also Wood will give you exactly what you want as well. The good thing is when Wood expires, he's still an RFA. I believe Coburn was a UFA, it said still. But yeah, that's not bad. And then we need ourselves a depth defenseman. Like, we're going to be right up against the salary cap. But, I mean, that's what happens when you're a good team, right? Most of the time, at least. Let's see who we could use as a depth defenseman. Because they're also going to end up stuck with the other Brunstrom as a depth defenseman. And he's kind of more of an AHLer. So, let's see if we could find one here. Carton, I think, is one of the guys I was looking at, actually. Yeah, let's take Carton, why not? 77 overall at 28. Doesn't want too much money. We'll take him in as a depth option, and then we'll see if there's one as on a 2-way deal, because I'll sign one that will just probably sit in the AHL more so. Yeah, like Reed Nichols, we'll sign him. He'll probably be in the AHL, but that's more of just a safe bet, just in case we have any injury problems, because if we run into injury problems where we have to use forwards as a defenseman, I wouldn't want that. So yeah, let's bring in Nichols as well on a 2-way deal. And I think that is all we're going to bring in this offseason, but it's enough to probably help us out depth-wise and make our team have a really good run this year. I'm very excited for the season. Like, I think we're definitely going to have a really good year ahead of us. I'm mostly excited, though, obviously, for Vance, because I think Vance is going to have another 60-goal season in him. The only problem I have is that McDavid is getting close to retirement, but we could easily find a probably replacement for him in the next few years, but all those guys signed with us. So let's begin the sim up to next season and get our lines set up and see what we're working with for the season. Like I said, if we end up randomly just doing really terribly, we can make changes, because a lot of the players that we signed for multiple years, they're on like team-friendly deals, which I think we'll easily be able to trade them away for, if we want to, for picks or prospects or for NHL-ready talent. So we are in a very good spot, and we have a lot of low elite prospects as well in the system. Like, I think we have 10 low elites, which is kind of outrageous. So we're just building up this team to being quite competitive probably for the rest of this franchise mode. Like, we're already in 2035, 36. We're actually going into 36, 37, I think, right? Yeah, already into 36, 37. So we still have like another 10 seasons or so left. So I'm fully committed that our team is going to be probably in the playoffs for every single one of those seasons at this rate. Now, obviously, that could just randomly backfire, but I think our team is definitely going to make the playoffs a lot. Obviously, I think that loss of Nazar might hurt us a little bit on the right side on that second line, but giving a shot to a kid like Weeks, I think he could get some really good development in. Maybe he'll become a very good, cheap option for our team as well. So, let's take a look first. Make sure we have the guys in the right spots. We need Weeks called up here. Okay, Weeks will call you up from the AHL because you shouldn't be down there. Damn it, Damsky jumped up to a 79. Was not expecting that. He is also medium elite. God damn. Oh, yeah, he's got great shooting. Man, I kind of want to play him in the NHL, but I don't think there's a way I could get him in. Like, I mean, I can't send down one of those guys we just signed, but I don't know. Maybe one more year in the AHL. But, yeah, we have tons of good prospects just getting ready to jump up. Yeah, I think maybe one more year for Damsky should be okay. Like, it's not going to hurt him in any way possible. Let's go with that. Anybody scratch that shouldn't be in the AHL. Blackburn, I think, needs to be in. He is almost NHL ready. We got to take out Tukio, unfortunately, because the 2 medium elites get priority. So there's the AHL. Like I was saying, we got tons of good talent down there. Zubris, Adamski, Ribeiro. I think there's, yeah, Martins even that should be up on like a higher line. Let's actually kind of rework this maybe around a little bit. Not great face-offs for Martin, so let's put him on the top line. Maybe flip. I want to get rid of that minus, but I don't think I'm going to be able to be honest. Yeah, I think we just got to keep it the way it is. But yeah, there's a lot of good prospects in the system, so things are looking good for the future. And our current lineup, oh my goodness. This is going to look pretty crazy. Like I said, it is going to be a little bit weaker without Nazar on the second line, but I think it's going to be really good too. Let's get Lane Weeks in the lineup, and I'm almost debating putting Lane Weeks on the second line, almost right out of the gate. Packers Lottie's more of an offensive guy, so Bales probably should be still a fourth liner. A lot of you guys were saying stuff about like, hey, not to keep on the Patterson and whatnot, but I just want to keep this team together right now because I think this team is definitely primed to have a great season. I should probably get Packers Lottie some power play time. I could honestly move him up probably into the top 6. Like Lane Weeks being in that spot, if he doesn't do well, I could move him down in the lineup, no problem. So all those guys are my depth options, so that's perfect. Defensively, we want to run with, I believe, Brunstrom and, yeah, Brunstrom and Morris. And it would be probably Lowry and Ovechkin, Nitamaki and Spiller. And then goalie-wise, yeah, Howden and Schiavello. Those are all good. Let's just make sure our power plays are set up properly. That first unit looks great. Yep, that looks good. Second unit, I would like to get Package Slotty on instead of Brigley, I think. Yeah, Corrado could win faceoff, so we'll put Corrado between the faceoff dot. And we'll put Package Slotty on the power play, because I think the power play will help him out in terms of getting goals. And not worrying about his ice time. So that's good. And that should be good too. Penalty kill lines, let's take a look at those quickly. Yeah, those look fine, at least for now. Reefers, Vance, McDavid. Yeah, that's good. That is our team for this season. And that is going to be a very interesting thing to see how this team is without Frank Nazar. But I think Lane Weeks, I think he should do good. Look at that shooting category. Look at the offense awareness. His passing, not so great, but I think he should do well there. He's not getting power play time, which is a bit concerning. Maybe I should try and put him on the power play. Let me see. Maybe instead of Patterson. Yeah, I'm going to put him on instead of Patterson. I trust that Weeks is going to reach his potential. So, or maybe at least something decent. Yeah, let's do it like that. So let's see how Lane Weeks does for like 1 month. And if he's not doing well enough, we move him down. Corrado moves up. And if he still doesn't do good on the third line, we move Patterson up, move Weeks to fourth line, something like that. But as long as he keeps that power play time, he should be able to help out with the offense a little bit, I think. Yeah, that's good. So there is our team for the upcoming season. I am so excited to see what Vance could do. How much goals do you guys predict this season? Because I'd say probably another 65 goal season. That's my guess. This is obviously his first year on his brand new contract. Same with Reefers and Brunstrom. Yeah, I think Vance is going to have at least 65 goals this year again. Because if you look at his like last, I guess last 7 seasons, his lowest total was 48, and his highest total was 65. So he should have at least another 50-goal season in him. He's already 29, so we are getting close to that territory, like within the next 6 years, that this guy could be on the retirement area and start to drop off, which hopefully he doesn't too fast. He is very close also to being my best goal scorer of all time, only trailing currently Avery Parrott, I think. Actually, maybe not just trailing Avery Parrott. I think he's also trailing Michkov too still, but he's getting very close to passing Michkov, at least with just Arizona. Okay, let's get into simulating this season, see what Vance Reefers and the band could do together. Hopefully McDavid doesn't really retire in a sense, because I would like to keep him around until he's retired. But he might honestly just decide he wants to leave in the offseason, or maybe he'll just retire randomly. But we'll see what happens this offseason in the next couple episodes, I guess. But obviously we want to focus on winning ourselves another Stanley Cup. We only have 1 Stanley Cup so far. I think this is a year that we could definitely win it again. It'd be nice to start winning like multiple in a short span. So if we win like 2 or 3 cups in a 5-year span, I would like to see that. So let's get through the preseason and see how our team does as I grab some water, because my voice is already trying to die on me. Oh, water is so good on my throat. Okay, 6-1 in the preseason. Yeah, that's a great way to have a preseason. 12 points in 7 games for Kabanov. I think Kabanov's due for probably a really good season too, because he's getting top-line power play time now with Nazar being out and whatnot. I think he's going to do really well this year. So it's good that we have kind of him locked up for how many more years? 1, 2, only 2 more. So him, Recchi, Lowry, a couple of guys are big UFAs in the next few years. So we got to be worried about that in a sense. We might have to free up cap for that time period, but at least we have these guys locked up for 2 years still. If they're on 1-year deals, we would maybe be getting into a little bit of a scary territory, because some of them are going to demand quite a bit, I'd assume. But I want to keep this team together as long as possible, unless we start running into some major problems. So let's get to our first game of the season, which is against the New Jersey Devils, who also had a good preseason apparently. Starting off with a road trip, it looks like, actually. We'll go to the halfway point of the season, so 41 games. But yeah, we have a road trip to start the season, 4 games of our first month. Let's go to the 1st of November, see how we do. First game of the season, we lost 6-3, so New Jersey must be a good team, man. And we lose 2 games in a shootout and then lose another game. But there's our first win of the year. Another shootout loss and another loss. This game is trying to make me think that my team's actually bad, but then we're going to start winning a ton of games, watch. Because there's no reason why this team should be 1-3-3 in their first 7 games, but watch, we're going to all of a sudden win like 10 in a row. Because, yeah, Bales is over point per game, and he's a 3rd liner, or is he on the 4th line? Yeah, there's definitely no reason to be concerned right now. No reason whatsoever. It's a really weird start for our team. Like, I was expecting us to be like maybe 7-1-1 or something like that, or 6-1. But 1-3-3. Like, that's 3 overtime losses already in the span of a month. Off to a little bit of a sluggish start, but watch, we're gonna have a really good month here. If we end up being like below 500 at January 1st, then I'm going to be a little bit concerned on what the problem is with this team, because there shouldn't be anything, and oh my goodness, that is why we brought in multiple depth defenders. Matthias Bernstrom has been injured with an MCL sprain. He's out till November the 30th, so that's not too long term, but that is still a pretty major injury. Let's just go replace player on that, but that is a big loss for the next month or so. Actually, yeah, just 1 month. This is still a really weird start to the season, but maybe that means we're gonna have like all of a sudden a really dominant second half. Like if we just barely miss the play or make the playoffs, that it might be the blessing we need, because President's trophies doesn't mean you're gonna win a Stanley Cup. There's a goalie on waivers who is okay, but I don't think I have any use for another goaltender, so I'm gonna decline that. In Jorgen Klingberg. Brunstrom is back. That's good news. I'm glad that MCL sprain wasn't that long term, because if it was, that would have been problematic. He is back. How is Weeks done? I was actually supposed to look at him already. 7 points in 18 games. That's not terrible. I'll keep him there for now, but if he's all of a sudden like not doing that well, yeah, we'll probably move him down in the lineup. Package Slotty should probably be in the top 6. Yeah, maybe Package Slotty will be the one that gets moved up. And it's 7, 8, and 4. Yeah, this is one of the weirdest starts I've had for a team that should be a lot better. McDavid's over point per game, so I think there must be just some sort of underlying problems. Let me actually go to the team stats right now. Let me take a look at this. So we're scoring a lot of goals, but we're giving up way too much. Okay. Our power play has also not been that great, and our penalty kill has been tragic. Let me address those a little bit. I'm kind of confused on why those are not doing too well. So our defense has not been good, so let's flop Lowry and Morris, Niittymaki and Ovechkin for something. Oh, Howden's been off to a rough start, and Scavel's even been worse. I don't know why the goaltending's been that bad. That is not great. Weeks, 8 points in 19 games ain't gonna cut it. Let's move Package Slotty up to the second line. And then, yeah, Lane Weeks is going to get the play with Corrado and Ziska. We'll try that out for something different. And, yeah, our defensive core we already changed around. Let's go to our power play unit and whatnot, see if there's anything we could do to change it up around. Move Reefers to the center spot instead. Move McDavid to the point. Actually, maybe not McDavid to the point. Let's address the... what is it? The strategies. So we want McDavid to be the passing because he's great at passing. And obviously the finisher is Vance. Puck carrier is going to be Brunstrom. So we'll just flip that for that first unit. Don't really care too much about the second unit. Penalty kill wise, I don't know why this penalty kill has been struggling. Might be this unit. Let's take Vance off the penalty kill. Did we lose any coach to retirement in the last episode? Because maybe we did, and that's the reason why. Well, actually, Brigley doesn't fit there either. Maybe I'll just keep the penalty kill the same, even though it's been pretty bad. Or maybe I'll change up the defensive pairing, so I'll put Lowry on this unit and Niittymaki down. Because something needs to be reworked a little bit. There we go. I mean, we're still really early into the season, so it's not a big concern. Like, we're still right around 500. And we probably will just all of a sudden take off out of nowhere. But it's a really weird start, though. And I don't think it's anything to do with Frank Nazar leaving our team. I just don't. Because I know Pens is right now saying, hey, you should have probably signed a top 6 forward. Because that's what he was mentioning in the Discord. And he's probably going to be like... he's probably going to like call me out in the comments as much. Let's go to the player search function actually quickly before we simulate a little bit more. Because I didn't actually take a look at where Frank signed. Let's see, where did our boy Frank sign? He signed with the Vancouver Canucks. Almost $7 million for 3 years for an 82. That's pretty expensive. So that's where he is right now. Interesting. Let's continue simulating. We're probably going to all of a sudden just pick up it out of nowhere. We're going to have like a perfect month one of these months. Because this team shouldn't be that bad. Okay, let's see how we do in the month of December. There's a win. Let's see, how much wins are we going to get in a row? There's another win. There's 2. Oh, there's a loss. God damn. There's 4 wins in 5, 5 and 6. There you go. See, now we're all of a sudden taking off. And now we get 2 losses after I say that. Oh, I swear this game is weird sometimes. Our team might be under-simulating, but that's okay. Because maybe that means we'll just squeak in and then win a Stanley Cup. 17, 11, and 4. We are not in a playoff spot. Currently, the last playoff spot has 41 points. We have 38, but we do have 4 games in hand on that wild card. So, good spot. Good spot. McDavid's leading the team in points with 39 and 32. So we still have another 9 games to simulate, and we'll be at the exact halfway point to the season. I hope Asher Vance isn't slacking off a little bit this year, because that would not be great. 4... There's 8, and there is game 9, so we're up to the 19th. And then we'll take a look at our stats. McDavid was never injured, but thank you, game anyways. Yeah, our team has definitely turned it around. See, I kind of knew it. Whenever you have a team that just completely under-simulates, sometimes you have to just be a little bit patient, and then your team will take off. But still a little bit of a weird start for this team, and I don't know, maybe they just had a long off season or something like that. Didn't really train as hard. But 23, 14, and 4 to start the year. We are now in a wild card spot with 50 points, which is 9 points up on the Jets in our division. So our division-wise, we're in a really good spot. And then in terms of the wild card, or the other teams in the other division, the Kraken are also at 50 points, but we got 4 games in hand. So even though it's a little bit of a weird start, we are in a good spot. We just need to keep winning, obviously. Let's take a look at those team stats and player stats so far. See if anything improved since we made those line adjustments. But yeah, that might be good that we're not actually that high up in the standings, because maybe we'll win in the postseason more. Goals per game wise, we are currently looking like we are maybe like 12th. I didn't do the math, but I think somewhere around 12th, 13th. Goals against per game wise, looks like we improved a little bit in that area, but we're still not really that great defensively, but I'll take it anyways. Power play is still really struggling this year. I don't know why. That means Vance might be not scoring as much as he normally does. Where is that in terms of the league? Yeah, it's like probably bottom-ish. Penalty kill wise, we are... Where are we? I didn't even see our penalty kill percentage, so I don't know. We're like mid-table. Our penalty kill has definitely improved since we made those adjustments. We already do have 6 short-handed goals, so 14 and 7 on home ice, 9, 7, and 4 on the road. So we're kind of struggling a bit away from our building, and 7 and 3 in our last 10 games. So yeah, we're definitely turning it around a little bit. Let's take a look at those player stats. See who's doing what. So usually Vance does have a really good second half, but him and McDavid are off to their slowest start in quite some time. Same with Reefers. All of them are like a point per game and above, but like McDavid's got 21 goals, Vance has 21 goals. They're only on pace for like a 42 goal season each. So that's a bit concerning, considering Asher Vance obviously just got paid quite a bit for the next amount of term, but obviously I don't give a crap anyways. This guy needs to be here for the rest of it. Kabanov 26 points, solid. Brickley's got 25 points. He's been pretty good, considering he's playing like 4th line minutes. He's not making that much money. He does not like his ice time though, so I might have to find a way to get him into the... Actually, I might move him up to the 3rd line, move Ziska down. That might be one thing we do. Left wing wise, Pakislawty's been solid, but he's -8. Bale's 21 points. Patterson 17. Okay. Yeah, so the depth scoring is not super great, but I mean, a lot of these players on this team is on pace for like 30 plus points, so yeah, not bad. Lane Weeks 78. Yeah, I don't know about Weeks. I don't know. At least he's getting points, so maybe he'll get some growth in the offseason. But if we look at our forwards right now, our top line is definitely doing the most work. They're on pace for like 80, 90 point seasons. Everybody else is on pace for like 62 to 30 points, I think. Yeah, there's no forward below 14 points. So everybody's on pace for at least 28 points on the forward core. So that's good. How about defensively, though? Brunstrom, 17 points in 31 games. Obviously, he missed 10 games because of that MCL sprain. That's not bad. That's not bad. A little bit of a slow start for him, but I don't really care if he cashed out on making a lot of money. I think this guy deserves to be here till the end of his career, pretty much. Spiller, 14 points, pretty good. Obviously, he's an RFA this off-season. Nitamaki for $6 million. I'm not fully sold on him. I know he's not getting really power play time, but 10 points. He's on pace for a 20-point season. Ovechkin and Lowry, pretty solid. Good defensive stats. Morris, only 6 points. And then Carton had 3 points as a depth option. And then goalie-wise so far, Howden's been much better. His goals against, his save percentage improved drastically, while Scavello has still been really struggling compared to last year, where he had like a 920 something save percentage, I think. So there's that. Let me actually take a look at the entire league, see who's leading the league. Maybe it's just a low-scoring year. And no, it's not. Well, it kind of is. A couple of guys in San Jose are going off, though, in McKenna and Jacina. Yeah, these guys are going off. 71 points in 44 games, 69 points. Then the next closest player has 58 points. So it is a lower scoring league, it looks like, this season. But there is a couple of guys that are just going ham right now. Best goal scorer of the season so far, Jeez, I didn't even realize that when we're looking at Jacina. 45 goals in 44 games. Okay, guys, so for some reason my Elgato frozen at this point, so basically just going to reiterate what I would have said anyways. So you can see Jacina, outrageous start to the season, leading the league by over 10 goals, or actually 10 goals right now, but for the most part he's leading by like 15 goals at this rate, so I don't think Vance is going to win the Richard this year unless this guy just slouches the second half, and for some reason Vance has an insane second half. But there is that for forwards. Defensively, Adam Fox currently leads all defensemen in points. It's a little bit of a lower scoring league for sure this season, though. There's only a couple of guys just completely running away with it, it seems like. Goalie-wise, the best goalie so far this season is Ned Okposo, of course, our arch nemesis. Best goalie save percentage-wise is Ratzlaff with a 933 because the Sharks have been insane so far this season. Sorry about that. And yeah, San Jose is definitely going to be probably a President's Trophy winning team at this rate, my guess. Rookie-wise, best rookie so far, also a Shark in Jesper Forsberg. So yeah, San Jose is pretty deadly. Pretty deadly. I'll actually show you guys their roster as well, just for a little something extra. You can see that Jacina and McKenna are pretty much running the show there, but yeah, this team is off to an insane start. And they might be the favorite to win the Stanley Cup this year if we don't. But I think, honestly, with our team simulating kind of more average in a sense, we'll have a better shot because we'll get into the wild card, and then who knows what will happen once the playoffs actually start. So, anyways, there's that. Let me show you guys the trading block, and I think that's almost it. Yeah, just a trading block I'll show you guys. Because for some reason, the last half of my episode decided to freeze. I don't know why my Elgato randomly freezes at times. It's quite frustrating. But former 8th overall pick Devin Clark is on the block. I don't get why some of these guys are on the block. But I honestly don't think we also need to really make any changes in terms of trades and whatnot. I know some of you guys might overthink trade deadlines in a sense where, like, if your team isn't performing up to their standard, that you should probably make trades. Well, sometimes it's kind of more reverse psychology. You just want to keep the team as is and they do better, but sometimes that's not the case too. So I don't really think this team needs a big upgrade if we're going to make any changes. I think it's just good probably to keep it the way it is right now. Also trust in our system. We have guys in the system we could use as well if we really want to. Former player for us, Easton Donald in Florida, on a 7-year deal on the block. But yeah, I think we'll probably just more trust in our system, unless you guys think there's definitely somebody that would completely flip or the impact of our team. I don't think we need another good goal scorer, because I don't want. I mean, we could bring in another good goal scorer, but I just don't want to take away goals from Vance. That's the key thing. Like, he is on pace for his lowest goal scoring season yet, but if we were to bring in, say, somebody like Skula, this guy's phenomenal. But he would, if we were to put him on like the top line, he'd take away goals from Vance. So I'd have to probably play him as the second liner, which he's actually listed as. But he is making $11 million for 3 years. So it's a little bit of a risk. But Skula could be interesting in a sense to help with that depth scoring on that second line and improving it. But at the same time, with him being signed for 3 years at that price point, that risks us losing potentially like Recchi in a few years to free agency, Kabanov, so that type of thing. So it's like, is it worth it in a sense? I don't know. He's 31 as well, so he's signed till he's 34, so he will probably be declining soon. So I don't know. That's a bit of a risky one. When was he drafted, out of curiosity? 6th overall. Damn, I don't even remember that. So yeah, School is interesting, but I don't know if he's exactly what we need. Obviously, it does help our goal scoring depth, but do we really want to risk taking away goals from Vance? Because that guy might be a really good player to put on like a second power play unit too. So he could run one unit, Vance runs another. Like, I don't know what the asking price would be. Like, we could go to the trade finder to find out. Nazar has not been doing too well in Vancouver as well. He's got 28 points, so he's on pace for like a 50-something point season. But for his price point, $7 million, not very good, I'd say, in my opinion. So there is all the trading block. let me actually take a quick look at what Skula would cost us. We definitely have the trade assets to pull it off, but like I said, I don't know if we do it or not because of his contract. Like if we go to find trade, nothing comes up, but if we go open block, we're looking at trading away our current starting goaltender in Aiden Howden, a first-round pick for next year, and a 5th-round pick. That's a lot. That's quite a bit. That's actually a lot more than I expected. I don't really think his trade's a terrible offer, but it kind of sucks. Like the 1st-round pick doesn't really matter to me because we have so much prospects. So I would probably hold on to that on there, but I would probably remove Howden from this deal because we need to have our starting goaltender. We'd be over the salary cap, so we would have to actually give back some cap in this deal as well. So if we're looking at people that are making good salaries here, we'd have to look at probably replacing somebody like Slotty, who's on a 1-year deal. For example, he's making $4 million. We'd probably have to throw Slotty into this deal. So it's basically upgrading Skula, or Slotty into Skula. Now the thing is, like I said though, is do we want to take away goals from Vance? Like Skula will definitely help us out quite a bit. He's got the exact same amount of goals as Vance so far. But with second line power play time instead of first, is it worth it? Like basically, doing that type of thing will be having Vance, Reefers, McDavid, Kabanov, Recchi, and Skula as our second line. Slotty would be gone, so it would be Ziska. We'd probably call up like a Adamski or even Martins, who's ready too. There's also guys like Patterson, Brigley, Corrado. Like we have way too much forwards and way too much young prospects in the system, so we definitely have to trade some of them away eventually. So I think we can trade for Skula, but I am kind of concerned about it too in terms of it backfiring since he's signed for a couple years when we have guys like Recchi who are pending UFAs in the next 2 years. So it's a little bit of a risk. Like we could trade him before that and use him for 1 year only, but it's up to you guys on that because it would probably definitely set our offense into a really good state, but like there's always drawbacks. Like currently our power play right now looks like this. He could honestly slot even in on the first unit, but it would probably take goals away from Vance, so I would probably want to have him on the second unit where Slotty currently is. He'd probably be playing with like Corrado, Niittymaki, Spiller, and then I don't know if Weeks would still be on the power play or not, but we would probably rework our power play because of that too. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So in next episode, we will make maybe a big trade depending on what you guys think, because I don't know if it's something we'd want to do or if we... I guess Philly is currently in a playoff spot too, so does it make sense for both of our teams? Maybe. But I don't know why they have them on the block and all that stuff to begin with. So let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, then we'll simulate the rest of the season. We'll see where we're fitting in terms of the standings and where we're going to play in the playoffs, because we're more than likely going to be a playoff team unless this team falls apart. It's just all about trying to make us a playoff team for as long as possible, not just a first round exit or second round exit for that matter. Send anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.